درود به یکایک شما دوستان خوب و گل عزیزم در سر تا سر کره آبی و خاکی زیبای زمین. مهرزاد هستم. دوستان عزیزم، با یک کار دیگه، یه اثر دیگه از مجموعه فرازمینی ها دقایقی در خدمتتون هستم. بپردازیم به موضوع جذاب امروز. دوستان، هفته پیش من برای شما یه ویژه برنامه گذاشتم با عنوان اعزام 4 تن فضانورد از 3 کشور جهان به ایستگاه فضایی بین المللی که بسیار مورد توجهتون هم قرار گرفت و خیلیاتون دوست داشتید و خواستید که این جور کارا رو من پخششو ادامه بدم. به روی چشم. امروز در ادامه همون ماجرای مأموریت در این ویدیو که به صورت کاملتر هم خدمتتون نشون میدم، 4 فضانوردی که زمین رو ترک کردند ساعاتی پیش بالاخره به ایستگاه فضایی بین المللی رسیدند. از لحظاتی که این 4 فضانورد به ایستگاه فضایی نزدیک میشن تا متصل شدن به ایستگاه فضایی و حرکت از داخل فضاپیما به ایستگاه فضایی، همگی در داخل این ویدیو به شما دوستان عزیزم که علاقه‌مند هستید نشون داده میشه. بهتون پیشنهاد میکنم که حتما با اینکه کمی طولانیه اما حوصله کنید و تا انتها با دقت ببینید، چرا که چیزایی من توی این ویدیو دیدم باور کنید خودم هم نمیدونستم. چیزهایی که توی این ویدیو من باهاش آشنا شدم که چجوری این فضانوردا وارد ایستگاه فضایی میشن، اصلا چجوری به ایستگاه فضایی متصل میشن، چه مقدار طول میکشه تا از داخل فضاپیما یا از داخل موشک به داخل ایستگاه برن و روند کار به چه شکله. واقعا جالبه، واقعا عجیب. حتما حوصله کنید و این 1-2 ساعت رو براش وقت بذارید و تا انتها کامل ببینید. در انتها اگه خوشتون نیومد هر چی دلتون خواست به من بگید، اما مطمئنم که میپسندید، مخصوصا دوستانی که مایل هستن خیلی بیشتر از دیگران چیز بدونن. من خودم از این ویدیو کلی چیز آموختم. امیدوارم که شما هم ببینید و لذت ببرید و بیاموزید. بیشتر از این مصدق دقایق پرقیمت و گرانبهای شما دوست عزیزم نمیشم و از شما دعوت میکنم که به تماشای لحظه ورود 4 فضانورد از 3 کشور ایستگاه بین المللی باشیم. دوستدار یکایک شما، خدمتگزار همیشگی شما، مهرزاد.
As the International Space Station, as it's making its way to the docking axis at waypoint 1. From below the station to in front of the docking port is almost complete, just a few minutes away.
Getting great views from all around, from the station side, from the Dragon side. The outline of the station you see on the displays inside Crew Dragon is in line with the position of where Dragon is relative to the International Space Station. It's almost at the docking axis, about 2.5 minutes to go until it converges with waypoint 1.
And as a reminder, Dragon is flying autonomously, so they aren't using those display panels to fly Dragon, they're just using them to monitor each step of the way. So the crew is basically just patiently waiting until they dock with the station.
Now seeing Dragon in a better view, a lot more clear now that it's only 240 meters away. You can see the nose cone clearly deployed extended towards the space-facing side or zenith side.
A really good zoomed-in view, and you could almost make out those 4 bulkhead thrusters on the forward portion of the Dragon capsule.
There you go. The Cronus is adjusting the aperture of the station cameras.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. Approach 1 and soft capture ring extension will begin shortly. Dragon will continue to waypoint 2 with the additional lighting assessment occurring at 110 meters as previously noted. For awareness, if sunlight results in the loss of the Dragon Eye geofilters, Dragon will autonomously retreat back to waypoint 1, remaining on closed loop control using the time of flight filters. How copy?
We are in a handover period, so we may have missed a call as we were switching from TDRS satellites. We're looking at about 20 seconds to go until we converge with waypoint 1. There's going to be an approach burn maneuver using the Draco thrusters. That's called approach 1, and that'll move Dragon from right in front of the docking axis 220 meters away and start moving in, closing in to waypoint 2, just 20 meters away from the docking axis. Of course, they'll be monitoring along the way.
We did hear the Corps mention that they are going to have a checkpoint to make sure that there isn't too much sunlight on the space station, which will prevent Dragon from docking. If that does happen, Dragon will autonomously back out and wait until the sunlight has cleared to ensure a good docking with the space station. Because this is all autonomous, it uses some visual cameras to align with the docking port. So it's really important that we don't have that sunlight getting in the way.
Section Delta on the big loop, sound check.
SpaceX has you loud and clear on the big loop. How me?
Loud and clear. Your last call, we copied most of it, but you cut out towards the end there. I'm not sure if there's anything important for us.
Copy. I'm going to repeat the end of the call. We did have a TDRS handover. Just for awareness, following the lighting assessment, if we continue but sunlight results in a loss of the Dragon Eye geofilters, Dragon Eye will autonomously retreat back to waypoint 1, still on closed loop control using the time of flight filters. How copy?
Okay, we copied all. Thank you very much for repeating.
No problem, Shane. And for awareness, the C2V2 link reconfiguration has been completed.
Copy, C2V2 complete.
There, the Corps just reiterated that they will be checking to make sure that the sunlight is not in the way of the visual systems between Dragon and the space station. If that does happen, Dragon will autonomously retract and wait until we do get some good visual views for these systems to dock with each other. So
that's right. Crew Dragon resilience actually coming into view a little bit clearer now from the cameras aboard Dragon. Dock to the zenith port.
Yeah, that was on the upper portion of the screen.
That's right. Now again, to reiterate, Dragon has passed waypoint 1, 220 meters in front of the station, executed a burn maneuver to go ahead and move in. So we're in approach 1, and it's heading towards waypoint 2. Now inside the keep out sphere. It's currently in the process of extending its soft capture ring that'll be used to dock to the international docking adapter of the forward port. We're monitoring the visual systems of Dragon. It would execute an automatic retreat if the sun was interfering with the optical systems as it makes its way towards an approach. We're at about 150 meters away from the station.
And we have such a great camera view here. You can really see the detail on Dragon. Again, those 4 bulkhead thrusters. You could almost read the logo, the Dragon logo on the side of the vehicle.
That's right. We'll get even better views as it makes its way even closer to make contact and capture with the space station.
There it is.
Yeah, based on the trajectory here, we may even anticipate a capture a little bit earlier than anticipating. We were looking at about 2:10 a.m. Pacific time. It might be at maybe closer to 2:07 p.m. The features of the space station coming into view very clearly.
Yeah, you can see a lot of the detail there, and as you mentioned, the Crew 1 Dragon.
This is SpaceX station on the big loop. Procedure review complete, ready for docking.
Houston copies.
All right, that was confirmation from Victor Glover aboard the International Space Station. From the space station side, he is go for docking. The soft capture ring itself is fully extended. We're 115 meters in closing.
Looking at your screen, the port that we are going to be docking with is directly in the middle of the screen, that circular area on the International Space Station.
Station Houston on 2 for Ike regarding SSC 17 and D2DM. We are seeing some strange configurations on the video, and we would like to close and restart that. We can take care of that from the ground if you would like. Absolutely. If you're seeing nominal, that works for us.
Okay, so Victor Glover aboard the station still has...
Put that in work.
And Dragon SpaceX soft capture ring extension is complete. Additionally, we did beat the sunlight for the Dragon Eye filters, so we are not going to command a hold.
Never copies all.
All right, so that's great news. We passed the 110-meter checkpoint that the ground operators were referencing, making sure the sun wasn't interfering with the optical sensors, the Dragon Eye, that are part of the guidance and navigation and control system aboard Dragon. We passed that check mark. We're good to go. We beat the sun there. So we're now inside 80 meters and closing. Dragon will pause at 20 meters. That's designated as waypoint 2 to conduct a go, no-go poll for the readiness on both the Dragon side and the International Space Station side, making sure everyone is good for docking. If we are go, we expect to dock during this pass over an orbital daytime. Expected in less than 20 minutes. Some of the features there, you can see a lot of the visiting vehicles on board station. At the bottom is a Russian Soyuz vehicle that delivered crew to the International Space Station. Just in front of that, or actually above that, is the Crew Dragon Resilience docked to the Zenith port. Once Crew Dragon Endeavour arrives, there will be 2 Crew Dragons attached to the space station.
In this view from Crew Dragon looking at the International Space Station, it looks like it's this very slow and steady movement, but in reality they're moving at 17,500 miles per hour.
The rendezvous operations are absolutely incredible. You can sort of see the Northrop Grumman Cygnus cargo craft as well, some of the Ultraflex solar arrays coming into view a little bit clearly.
And you can see that Crew 1 Dragon vehicle on the top of your screen. Once Crew 2 docks to the International Space Station, we will have 2 Crew Dragons docked at the same time for the first time.
That view right there was truly a representation truly of an international cooperation there. The U.S.-built Node 2 is where the Dragon will be docking today. It was flanked by the European Columbus module and the Japanese GEM.
On the big loop, visors down.
SpaceX copies. The visors are down. We may enter into a hold at waypoint 2. We are still awaiting ground go for final approach.
Never copies.
The detail of this camera view is pretty incredible. Here from the International Space Station, watching Crew Dragon as it is slowly approaching.
And as expected, Dragon holding at waypoint 2. It's at about 20 meters right in front of the docking axis.
And if you're just now joining us, we are just waiting for a confirmation for go for docking. Currently holding Dragon at waypoint 2. And again, it looks like Dragon is just paused and not even moving, but again, as we just mentioned, both the space station and Crew Dragon are actually moving at approximately 17,500 miles per hour. So it's pretty incredible how it can hold these speeds so that it looks like they are just completely paused.
That's right. Teams on the ground, both from the station side in Mission Control Houston and Mission Control Hawthorne, just checking and verifying all systems are go to proceed with docking.
And when we do begin docking, there will be two portions of this. There will be a soft capture followed by a hard capture. The soft capture will be a soft capture ring that basically just connects the Crew Dragon to the space station to enable the hard capture, which will be 12 hooks that will attach Dragon to the station.
Again, we're standing by the International Space Station, flying over the Indian Ocean now, just south of the Indian border. It's heading on a southeasterly course just south of Australia, and should cross over the Terminator line into the Pacific Ocean into an orbital nighttime. The expectation is for Dragon to depart here from waypoint 2 and proceed on with docking ahead of orbital nighttime to beat the sun.
You can see this camera moving around. Again, this is controlled from the ground from Mission Control Houston. And they're maneuvering this camera around so we can just get a more detailed view of the Crew 2 Dragon Endeavour patiently waiting, docking to the International Space Station.
Dragon on its second flight, about to dock to the forward end of the International Space Station for the second time.
And Station and Endeavour on the big loop. Ike, we are not able to recover that video for the D2DM, so you can close that window, and we should be ready to press into final approach shortly.
Station copies.
You did hear that call out speak out to Ike. Ike is actually referring to Victor Glover. That is just his nickname.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. Ground is now go for final approach. Upon confirmation of crew readiness for final approach, we will enable the approach. Please confirm crew readiness, and a reminder, once Dragon is inside the crew hands-off point, retreat and breakout are no longer permitted.
Crew is ready for final approach.
And got some good words that the crew is ready for the docking to the International Space Station. They no longer will have control of any aborts. If there is an abort needed, it will have to be done by the Dragon autonomously.
And on the big loop, monitor per steps 3 and 4 and 1.104.
Station copy.
Again, we are now moving into the CHOP, which is the crew hands-off point. As I was mentioning earlier, if there is an abort, it will need to be done autonomously by Dragon.
All right, we did get confirmation. Approach 2 has been initiated. So Dragon now making its way inside the 20-meter hold point at about 18 meters and closing. Final approach of Endeavour to dock with the International Space Station has started. Docking expected in about 3.5 minutes from now.
And you can see on your screen as Crew Dragon slowly approaches towards that port for docking.
Sorry, we're 13 meters and closing, making a slow and methodical approach to the docking port. That's on the forward end of the International Space Station, that international docking adapter where Crew Dragon Endeavour has docked once before.
Meters.
Copy, 10 meters.
And what that call out was Crew Dragon is just 10 meters away from the International Space Station as it continues its approach for docking. Docking will occur in 2 phases. There will be a soft capture followed by a hard capture, and what that hard capture means is 12 physical hooks will connect the Dragon to the space station.
Great views. Dragon just 6 meters away as the station and Dragon fly in tandem 263 statute miles over the South Indian Ocean in the background.
5 meters.
We're 5 meters and closing.
Copy, 5 meters.
Really start to see the detail on Dragon there as it is closing in on docking.
That's right, 2.5 meters, 30 seconds. Crew hands off point was called out.
Dragon, SpaceX on the big loop, soft capture confirmed.
Copy, soft capture confirmed.
Great news with that call out. That soft capture is confirmed.
That's right, that soft capture time, 2:08 a.m. Pacific time, 4:08 a.m. Eastern. The station and Dragon connected 264 statute miles over the South Indian Ocean. Endeavour connected to International Space Station for the 2nd time.
And There are still a few steps to complete before Dragon is securely attached.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop, soft capture ring retraction in progress.
That's good. The ring retraction is happening. Ring retraction happening as expected. And after the ring retracts, 12 hooks will latch, 6 at a time, to perform a hard capture, and will officially mate Dragon to the International Space Station.
Got this really awesome view of Dragon as it is connected to the port, currently making progress on hard capture.
Soft capture ring retraction does take some time. It is continuing at its anticipated speed. Things are looking good. Again, this is the first in a series of steps to officially mate Dragon to the station. If you're just joining us, we heard the call out for soft capture confirmed at 2:08 a.m. Pacific time, 4:08 a.m. Eastern time. Station and Dragon were 264 statute miles over the South Indian Ocean at the time of contact and capture. We're still in the process of retracting the soft capture ring and anticipating proceeding with the hard capture sequence, where 12 hooks will drive to officially mate Dragon with the International Space Station's International Docking Adapter at the forward port. Crew Dragon Endeavour docked to that forward port for the second time.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop, ring retraction is complete. Docking sequence is holding for MCS reconfiguration.
Endeavour copies off.
If you're just now joining us, as you can see on your screen, Crew Dragon has made contact with the International Space Station. And we're currently in progress of...
Endeavour and station, MCS is configured, proceeding with hook driving.
Endeavour copies.
Station copies.
Great timing there. This is now the beginning of the hard capture sequence. This is where 12 hooks will latch between Dragon and the space station, 6 hooks at a time. This will take a few minutes to complete.
That's right, that MCS is just configuring the International Space Station's attitude control. It needed to be configured differently between a soft capture and hard capture sequence. So now that that's been confirmed, they can go ahead and press to drive the 12 hooks needed to confirm a hard capture. To reiterate, the Dragon had contact and capture with the space station at 2:08 a.m. Pacific time, 5:08 a.m. Eastern. Space Station and Dragon crossing over the Terminator line just south of Australia, about to head over the South Pacific Ocean. Start seeing the views of Dragon get a little bit dimmer as we still undergo the hard capture sequence. All right, again, we're still undergoing the hard capture sequence. There's 12 hooks that drive to officially mate Dragon to the International Space Station, 6 of them driving currently. Station attitude configured to support the hard capture sequence. Now operating on control moment gyros to maintain attitude control during the hard capture sequence. All right, and we have confirmation the first set of hooks, all 6 have been driven. They look good. Second set are driving and are looking good at the anticipated speed. Halfway there.
This will take just a couple more minutes for hard capture to complete. As a reminder, after hard capture is complete, they do still have some more steps that they need to go through in order to ensure that the space station and Dragon are safe for crew ingress. There will be the hatch opening as the crew on board Dragon as well as the station will be walking through some procedures prior to ingress of the crew on the International Space Station. But once they do ingress on the station, there will be a welcome ceremony.
Again, half of the hard capture hooks have been driven and locked into place. The second set of 6 hooks, 12 total, 6 of them driving.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop. Hard capture is complete. You are go to open visors.
Copy, hard capture complete. Opening visors.
All right. Crew Dragon Endeavour officially made it to the International Space Station. That dynamic period of the docking phase is complete. The crew inside Dragon have been wearing their suits just as an extra precaution, but they can go ahead and pull up their visors. It's going to be some time until the hatches themselves are open between Dragon and the International Space Station. Still some things to configure on that side. The vestibule on the International Docking Adapter that separates the hatches of Dragon and the International Space Station. That's been exposed to the vacuum of space and has had the sun shining on it periodically. So when repressurizing the vestibule to equal the pressure inside the space station.
Station, hard capture complete. Welcome to ISS. We are so excited to have you aboard.
Thanks, Shannon. We're glad to be here. We'll see you all in a few minutes.
International Space Station Commander Shannon Walker welcoming the crew. Now Crew 2 officially made it to the International Space Station. Again, it's going to be some time until they come in, but the commander of the International Space Station welcoming 4 new crew members for her expedition on board here shortly. All right, so again, there's a series of steps here as we enter into an orbital nighttime, completing the docking of Crew Dragon Endeavour to the International Space Station for a second time. Are the hatches?
SpaceX Endeavour on Dragon to ground. Are you ready for us to begin seat doffing?
SpaceX copies. You are go to begin suit doffing and audio configuration. Procedure 4.012.
Copy, that's in work.
So again, it'll take some time. The crew will begin doffing or taking off their suits. It'll be some time to repressurize the vestibule. Station side, astronauts on the station side will configure the hatch, getting ready to open that up and welcome the crew inside the International Space Station. It was a pretty great docking. Everything happened right on cue and as expected. So it was a great to see Crew Dragon Endeavour dock to the International Space Station once again. We've enjoyed it from here in Mission Control Hawthorne, but to see how things turned out from the space station side of things as we work together to complete today's operation, let's go to Courtney Beasley for a refresher on what's ahead now that Dragon is docked.
SpaceX cameras are external.
Space station side hatch, followed by the Dragon hatch. But this will take some time. They will need to repressurize the vestibule in between those 2 hatches before the crew can ingress.
That's right, the umbilical on the Dragon side has been fully extended to provide power, communications, and data from the International Space Station to the Dragon, so the Dragon no longer needing to rely on its own power systems.
Looks like we got that live view on the station.
I think that's Soichi Noguchi on board the International Space Station. Colonel Mike Hopkins, NASA astronaut and commander of the Crew 1 Dragon Resilience, coming into frame as well. There are 7 crew members currently aboard the International Space Station, not counting the Crew 2 astronauts who are on the other side of that hatch. Once that hatch is open, there will be 11 crew members on board the International Space Station. Sort of forget that you don't really need to be in an upright position to work from this orientation. We're looking sort of in an upright position. If you look down or nadir from this position, you would go straight down towards the Earth, but you can see clearly Soichi Noguchi upside down. Mike Hopkins was just upside down. You don't really need to be in a particular orientation to work.
Coming into frame, that is Victor Glover.
And there's Mark Vande Hei from NASA, who arrived earlier this month on the Soyuz MS-18 rocket launching from Kazakhstan, with 2 Russian cosmonauts, Oleg Novitsky and Pyotr Dubrov. They'll be joining for the welcome ceremony to welcome the Crew 2 astronauts aboard as well.
Another thing to point out, you could see that each of them are just wearing socks. Don't really need shoes to be on the space station, since they're not really walking anywhere. They're floating around.
Yeah, they use their hands really to propel themselves from module to module, but their feet, you can see some of the blue handrails situated around the International Space Station. Ooh, there's a good shot of how astronauts typically use those handrails. They'll wrap their feet underneath them to stabilize them. Looks like the pressurized mating adapter is used for some stowage, so there's looks like Noguchi and Glover are reconfiguring some of the stowed items to allow some room to open up the APAS hatch, the hatch on the International Space Station side, and provide a pathway for the Crew 2 astronauts to come through the hatch to be welcomed in Node 2. So again, the vestibule is pressurized between the Dragon hatch and the station hatch. You can see Noguchi working on the station hatch. His next procedure is to go ahead and open it. And you can see, confirmed, APAS hatch is open. Noguchi taking some initial photographs. Part of the procedures will be to survey the hatch itself, inspect for any foreign object debris.
Houston Station, Big Loop, APAS hatch open, and that's dry, and seals are clean.
And Houston copies, and you can continue in step 4.
Dragon, SpaceX, for procedure 4.400.
Go ahead, SpaceX.
All right, Shane, when you're ready with that APAS hatch call, that does unblock us to go into section 5 of 4.400 when we get there. Additionally, when you're ready, we are ready to collect inventory in section 3.
Okay, inventory coming to you, and we're ready for section 5 after that.
SpaceX copies, thanks.
Thank you, Thomas, for the inventory. So just quickly compared to what I reported prior, the only delta is 2 bottles from location, from bag 204 in location 9. All the rest is as per our previous report. So I'm not sure you need all the details of what's remaining, because I kind of gave the detail of what was consumed from the food locations. I can give you the details. It's your call.
SpaceX copies. If there's no delta from your previous report, we don't need it, but I will read back. That was 4 bottles from bag 204.
Two bottles, sorry, 2.
Copy that. 2 bottles from 204. Last question for section 5 of 4.400. Does that 2 bottle include the additional bottle that will be used in step 5.1, or will we require an additional bottle?
I know it's a good question, Arthur, and we're working on this, so you can add another bottle for this section, and we'll grab it from 206.
All right, SpaceX copies. Thanks, Thomas. We'll take 1 bottle from 206. And Thomas, SpaceX, last question. Can you confirm no food deltas from previous report, or did you also consume midday meals for today?
No, we didn't consume anything. The latest last food consumption was the one I reported before.
All right, copy. Thank you.
All right, you just heard the core here in Mission Control Hawthorne communicating with the crew on the inside of the Dragon. They're behind this camera view that you're seeing here. This is the center line camera of Crew Dragon Endeavour. You're getting a look at Soichi Noguchi as he outfits the A-Pass hatch, getting ready for the astronauts inside Endeavour to come through the hatch. The hatch to Dragon is still closed as Noguchi continues to outfit that A-Pass hatch. He took some photographs upon entering into the vestibule that you see here and took some photographs to survey the A-Pass hatch, make sure the seals look good. Reported that they all looked good, so he's continuing with the procedures to attach some pads and remove the docking rod from the center of the A-Pass hatch. A-Pass standing for Androgynous Peripheral Assembly System. It's just the hatch on the station side, the last one until you get to the Dragon hatch.
Dragon SpaceX, question on procedure 4.012, suit doffing.
Go ahead, SpaceX.
Shane, just wanted to follow up. We wanted to confirm that all 4 suits are drying, and then when ready, when we can come back on board.
All 4 suits are drying. Some of them have been drying for an hour already, and you are welcome to come back on board.
Copy that, Tama. Thank you.
Very cool. Got some words that we might get some camera views inside of Crew Dragon with the Crew 2 team already doffed their suits, confirming that their suits are drying as they are waiting for ingress on the International Space Station. What you're seeing on your screen is Soichi Noguchi getting this vestibule area set up for the Crew 2 ingress prior to opening the Crew Dragon hatch. Once that hatch is open, the crew will not immediately ingress onto the space station. They do need to follow a few more procedures just to make sure that everything is good to go before they ingress on the space station.
So you see some of the padding that's needed to outfit that A-Pass hatch. He's just wrapping it around the metal structure that is the station side hatch. He'll do this to completion. On the other end, we'll hopefully be getting some views from the inside of the Dragon cabin and seeing both perspectives from the Dragon side.
Dragon SpaceX for awareness. Cameras are back on board.
Thanks. Welcome on board.
All right. We'll hopefully get those views inside Dragon soon. Meanwhile, Soichi Noguchi continuing to outfit the hatch. Again, this is one of those steps to get all of the hatches open in between Dragon and the International Space Station. Now getting views from inside Dragon. The crew have doffed or taken off their suits. And so now they're dressed and ready for the welcome ceremony. Once they get on board, we'll have some hugs and they'll have a chance to talk with some of their crewmates before getting in front of the camera to officially welcome the Crew 2 astronauts aboard the International Space Station, an orbiting complex that will support a crew of 11 until Wednesday the 28th is the planned undocking time for the Crew 1 astronauts, Soichi Noguchi, currently one of those astronauts that will be departing, along with 3 American astronauts, including Shane Kim, Mike Hopkins, Shannon Walker, and Victor Glover. All right, looks like Noguchi has that A-pass hatch wrapped. You can see just above him, he used a series of padding and blankets to wrap the metal structure that is the station side hatch, and now he's inside the vestibule. See some of the tubes he's bringing in the vestibule section that are peeking through towards us on the pressurized mating adapter side. That'll allow the circulation of some of the air from the station side and remove any carbon pockets that may appear in the environment of the space station. So we're a little more than an hour and a half removed from the docking, the official docking
Houston,
time.
Hawthorne Endeavour Station is ready for Dragon Hatch equalization.
Houston, copy.
Endeavour copies. Endeavour copies.
That's astronaut Mark Van High coming in to help out. The crew on both sides getting confirmation. The next step's underway to get that other hatch open. There's one more hatch. You see the station side hatch open at the back end of the pressurized mating adapter there. There's one more hatch, the Dragon on the Dragon side. And the crews on both ends are working through to open up that hatch and welcome the Crew 2 astronauts on board. Just going to stand by for a few minutes for pressure to equalize between the International Space Station and the Dragon hatch before go ahead and opening that final one.
And Endeavour Houston, can you confirm readiness for hatch equalization?
Endeavour's ready. Endeavour's ready.
Okay, Station and Endeavour, stand by for equalization. It's expected to take 5.5 minutes.
Station copy. Endeavour copies. Endeavour copies.
All right, so you heard that equalization time. A timer is set for about 5.5 minutes to allow that pressure to equalize between the pressure inside the environment of the International Space Station and the pressure inside the Dragon. That pressure has to be equalized within both spacecraft before the Dragon hatch is open, one of the steps to open up that final hatch. So we'll just stand by as that equalization is underway. In the meantime, you can see in the pressurized mating adapter, Mark Van High currently moving some stowed items around, creating a clear pathway for the Crew 2 astronauts to enter the International Space Station once they head through the hatch, being assisted by Suichi Noguchi. We've also seen Victor Glover, who was primed for monitoring Crew Dragon's approach to the International Space Station. So it looks like Glover is resetting the camera position there. That view provided a nice angle downward into the pressurized mating adapter to see some of the activities happening for opening up the hatches. Now Glover's just getting that camera set up for the next activity, which will be a welcome ceremony. Putting it in a good position to frame or allow to frame 11 astronauts to squeeze into that shot. I think that'll be an impressive feat by itself.
Yeah, that is quite a bit of people, especially for the International Space Station. But it'll be really cool to see them all together.
So right now it's looking like the procedures to undergo opening up the hatch. Again, we're still waiting for pressure to equalize between the space station and the Dragon itself before opening up that hatch. But it seems like we're on a good timeline to start a welcome ceremony on time. That's expected to begin at 4:45 a.m. Pacific. Should be 7:45 a.m. Eastern. Gathered inside Node 2 now, you see over to the left is NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei. Going from left to right, we have Crew Dragon Resilience Commander Mike Hopkins, followed by Soichi Noguchi and International Space Station Commander and NASA astronaut Shannon Walker.
It looks like we got that live view back on the International Space Station where they are preparing for the Crew 2 to ingress and getting set up for that welcome ceremony. You can kind of see them all coordinating with each other on where the cameras need to be and where they want to do this welcome ceremony. We're currently waiting for equalization of pressure between the International Space Station and Crew Dragon prior to opening that hatch on the Crew Dragon.
So again, we're in the middle of a 5.5 minute timer as equalization is underway between the pressure inside the International Space Station and pressure inside the Crew Dragon Endeavour. So we'll just wait on the status after that 5.5 minute timer and the OK to open up the Dragon hatch. It may be some time after the Dragon hatch is open until the Crew 2 astronauts enter into the International Space Station. But we're tracking a welcome ceremony to formally begin as of now in 45 minutes. Keep you up to date in case that changes.
Looks like we just have a different camera view on the International Space Station. That is JAXA astronaut Soichi Noguchi that you see in the frame right now.
Preparations happening on both sides. We're mostly getting views from the International Space Station side, but the Crew 2 astronauts are inside the Crew Dragon capsule getting configured. Because once they enter through the hatch, they'll join the 7-member crew of Expedition 65 that's currently aboard the International Space Station and conduct a welcome ceremony. We'll see some hugs and shared camaraderie among the Expedition 65 crew for a little bit, and then formally welcome them to the to Expedition 65 aboard the space station.
Dragon SpaceX for 4.400.
Go ahead, SpaceX, on Dragon to ground.
Hey Shane, just looking for confirmation of completion of Section 5 of 4.400.
Section 5 is complete.
SpaceX copies, thanks. And additionally, last check is completion of procedure 4.012, suit doffing.
Yeah, sorry, we didn't let you know that. 4.012 is complete.
Much appreciated. Thank you, Shane.
All right, a few checks from the crew operations and resource engineer.
Dragon SpaceX on the big loop for hatch open.
Go ahead for hatch open on the big loop.
All right, Dragon, you are go for hatch opening per the decal on the hatch, followed by the remaining actions in procedure 4.400, section 6.
Okay, that's in work.
Good words that they got the go for opening the Dragon hatch.
It's fantastic news. We can kind of see the hatch from this angle. Hopefully it remains unobstructed. We may be able to see the, yep, you can see the handles moving a little bit. Yes, there it goes.
Again, this is being opened from the interior side of the Crew Dragon vehicle. So this is the Crew 2 crew performing this work right now. It looks like the crew on station is getting excited, peeking in.
I can feel the energy for sure. All right, Dragon hatch is open.
Already seeing a bunch of smiles.
All right, that Dragon hatch, the final hatch that we've been waiting for since Endeavour docked to the International Space Station 2 hours ago, 2:08 a.m. Pacific. 4:05 a.m. Pacific is the time that Dragon hatch was open. Already seeing some smiles.
So again, as we mentioned, the Dragon hatch is open, but the Crew 2 members still need to finish walking through some remaining procedures before they can ingress onto the space station, including photos. It looks like you can see the the crew posing for some pictures there.
On the big loop, hatch is open.
SpaceX copies on the big loop. Hatch is open.
All right, again, the hatch was open at 4:05 a.m. Pacific. The space station and Dragon flying together in unison, attached.
Station Houston on 2. Houston on 2. We're seen at a voice check for upcoming PIO event. We're good with the scene check if we could just get a voice check. And Shannon, we are not picking up any audio.
How about now? Having things on works better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And Shannon, we did hear you that time. We're checking. And Shannon, can you give us another long count?
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Copy. Thank you. We're checking. And that's a good voice check.
And SpaceX Endeavor on space ground for LIO.
SpaceX is with you on space to ground for LIO.
We were trying to install the LIO with the bag cover. That is LIO 1. Oh, correction. Yeah, LIO 2 in the bag and in the non-active storage area. And while we were pushing in, it tore the bag and it cut that bag pretty big. Would you like us to proceed with this or go without the bag?
Copy that.
Just to let you know, the seal is on that LIO cartridge too.
Copy that, Dragon. Just to read back, there's a tear in the LIO bag as a result of trying to insert into the LIO slot. Stand by, we're going to get you some forward actions.
Okay, copy. And we do have a camera pointing at it right now. It's a cargo camera.
Copy that, we see it, thanks.
Leave the capsule that brought them up to the International Space Station. Some of the LIO cartridges you're hearing are lithium hydroxide cartridges that scrub carbon dioxide from the environment of the Dragon Endeavor capsule. Now regaining some of those views. Once the 4-person crew of Endeavor comes onto the International Space Station, there will officially be 11 crew members on board as part of Expedition 65. We're still on track to start a welcome ceremony here in a little less than 15 minutes. We'll have representatives.
Dragon, SpaceX, repeating a call. We did have a teacher's handover. Want to confirm that we will stow this cartridge without a LIO bag, but we just want to verify that the seals are secure on each side of the LIO.
And just to verify, seals are secure on both LIO cartridges 1 and 2.
SpaceX copies. Thank you.
And SpaceX, please let us know what to do with the bag itself.
So from left to right inside the International Space Station's.
Dragon, SpaceX copies. We do want to save this bag so we can look at the RIP in the future. Stand by. We're going to get you words on where to store it.
And Endeavour copies.
Crew of Endeavour still working through those last-minute procedures. Again, LiO cartridges are lithium hydroxide cartridges that scrub carbon dioxide from the environment of inside Crew Dragon Endeavour. You're getting live views from the International Space Station side. From left to right, we have Roscosmos cosmonaut Oleg Novitsky, followed by International Space Station Commander and NASA astronaut Shannon Walker. Coming down from the...
LiO bag. Sorry, could you repeat where to store that bag?
Yes, stand by, Dragon. We are finding a good common bag to put it in for temporary stowage.
Okay, copy that. We'll just stow it for now.
Copy, Dragon. If possible, we can also put it in a trash bag in location 17. That would be bag 111.
Okay, copy. We'll get a trash bag from location 17, bag 111, and put it in there.
Good copy. That is bag 111, and that is actually location 18.
Location 18, bag 111.
In this frame, all 7 crew members of Expedition 65 currently on board the station gathered to welcome the Crew 2 astronauts aboard Endeavour. On the top left is NASA astronaut Victor Glover. You see Soichi Noguchi in the foreground on the right there. On the far right is NASA astronaut Mark Vandehei. Mike Hopkins is just behind Soichi Noguchi there, and Roscosmos cosmonaut Pyotr Dubrov is on the zenith or space-facing side, sort of the ceiling from this shot, all gathered and eagerly awaiting for the 4-person crew of Crew Dragon Endeavour to come on board.
Suichi Noguchi doing some backflips as they eagerly await the crew 2 astronauts to ingress on to the International Space Station. The crew 2 crew is finishing some final procedures. Once they complete all of those procedures on board Crew Dragon, they should be able to ingress on the International Space Station. And once they ingress, there will be some welcoming hugs and smiles, and then we will have an official welcome ceremony.
It's been a long journey for the 4-person crew of Endeavour. It took them 23 hours to make their way to dock to the International Space Station earlier this morning. That docking time at 2:08 a.m. Pacific. The Dragon hatch was opened at 4:05 a.m. Pacific. We're counting down to the Endeavour astronauts to enter into the International Space Station, and we'll begin a formal welcome ceremony to officially welcome Endeavour to the International Space Station, and we'll have representatives from the space agencies of the crew on board Endeavour, including NASA and the European Space Agency and the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, chiming in to congratulate the Crew 2 astronauts and the support teams that helped to get them to the orbiting laboratory today.
Station 2, if anybody's opposed, we're going to progress with ingress.
Endeavour, welcome aboard. You are go to ingress.
Endeavour arriving.
Got some confirmation that the crew is go for ingress, and you can see Aki is the first to ingress onto the International Space Station.
And Gwyn.
And Gwyn.
Followed by Thomas Pesquet from the European Space Agency.
Lots of hugs and smiles right now.
Pilot Megan MacArthur of Crew 2 is next, being welcomed by the Expedition 65 crew members, and Shane Kimbrough bringing up the rear. The 11-person crew of Expedition 65 now together inside Node 2 of the International Space Station.
Though we can't even hear audio in there, you could really feel the excitement just by the looks on their faces, the hugs that they're giving. Now they're getting ready for this official welcome ceremony. You can see them getting into position.
Let the Tetris game of fitting 11 crew members into a single frame begin.
Right. 12. Gwyn.
Oh, that's right.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is Station. We are ready for the event.
Mr. Jersick, please call station for voice check.
Station, this is Steve Jersick. How do you hear me?
Steve, we have you loud and clear. Welcome to the International Space Station.
Hey, man, it is awesome to see the 11 of you on station. It's incredible. Congratulations, Crew 2 on an amazing launch yesterday. Coming to Kennedy Space Center and watching launches never gets old, and seeing the pre-dawn launch yesterday was amazing. So congratulations. I also want to congratulate the NASA and SpaceX team for our third commercial crew mission in less than a year. A lot of firsts on this mission, including the first crew handover of commercial crew vehicle, and it was really cool during docking to see one Dragon docked on the Zenith port and the other Dragon coming in for docking. So it was amazing. April has been an amazing month and a really busy month for ISS, with Mark, Piotr, and Oleg launching to ISS. Kate and her Russian colleagues coming back. Crew 2 there, and now preparing for Crew 1 to come back. And I am really excited for all the research, technology development that is going to be able to be enabled on station with these regular crew rotations and having 4 crew up there consistently. It's not only important for advancing research technology development to benefit folks here on Earth, but also to prepare for Artemis and our return to the moon, and eventually are preparing for human missions to Mars. So it's just an incredibly exciting time for ISS. You know, Shane, Megan, Aki, and Thomas, we thank Tomas. We thank you for everything you do for the agency, the country, and the world, and we look forward to an amazing expedition. Crew 1, you guys have had an amazing 6 months. Mike, Victor, Shannon, and Suichi, I've followed what you've done to upgrade the station and all the research and technology you've been able to accomplish. And just want to congratulate you on an amazing expedition. And we look forward to your return next week. So again, I'm just really excited for this new era for ISS and all that you all have and will be able to accomplish. So thank you.
Thank you, Steve. It is very exciting to have Crew 2 with us today, and so I'm not going to take up any time here. I'm just going to hand it over so we can get their thoughts.
Thanks, Shannon. Thanks, Steve. And on behalf of Crew 2, we are just so excited to be here. I'm very excited to be here. In some ways, it's been a long journey. In other ways, it's been a pretty quick one-year assignment flow. So it's taken a tremendous amount of work from a lot of different teams to get us here. We, of course, have our excellent training team at Johnson Space Center, also an outstanding training team from Hawthorne, and the entire ISS program and commercial crew program working together to get us here, of course, as well as along with our international partners. We're just really excited to be here and be part of this historic mission with the 2 Dragons on board, first reuse of a capsule, first reuse of a booster. It's just a tremendous achievement on behalf of our partner SpaceX, so I want to congratulate and thank them. And we're so excited to be here. We're ready to get to work. There's a lot of great science that I know we're going to be doing, and we're just excited to learn and get started. So thank you.
hand it off to Kathy Leaders.
Thank you, Mr. Jerzyk. We now welcome Associate Administrator Kathy Leaders to provide remarks. Ms. Leaders, please call station for a voice check.
Station, hi, this is Kathy Leaders. Do you hear me?
Kathy Leaders, do you hear me?
Kathy, we have you loud and clear.
Wow, you know, I just don't, I think I could see Endeavor approaching station maybe one more time, you know, near and dear to my heart to see that going on. And, you know, I think both Steve and Megan mentioned how amazing it was to see resilience there on the station. The folks, Crew 1 folks and the other parts of the ISS team, Mark, and you guys had the best view, but it was really cool seeing it from here on Earth. Like Steve talked about, wow, this is, and Megan too, this is, we talk a lot about this being, and exploration being a team sport, and this mission so far has really exemplified that, you know, with this, our commercial partner, SpaceX, with our international partners, and with Thomas and Aki, and obviously Megan, you and Shane, you know, holding up on the NASA side here, and then our commercial crew and ISS teams. Congratulations to all of you. It's just been an amazing, amazing mission, and I know you guys are going to be doing some really great things. I've been here watching your the folks here on station waiting for you, and I know you guys will be having a lot of fun together over this direct handover period, and with all of you on board, it's going to be a lot of fun for you, and getting ready for Crew 1 to come home. So I just wanted to really, from the bottom of my heart, say thank you. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to the whole team, the international, the commercial, you folks there on the space station now today safely, and looking forward to, like Steve said, seeing your accomplishments over the next 6 months. Thanks again.
Thank you, Kathy. Really appreciate your support.
Thank you, Ms. Leaders. We now welcome JAXA President Dr. Yamakawa Hiroshi. Dr. Yamakawa, please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Yamakawa Hiroshi from Tsukuba. How do you hear me?
Dr. Yamakawa, we hear loud and clear.
Well, thank you, Aki. Well, congratulations to all. I watched yesterday's launch on TV and really feel relieved by your safe arrival to the station now. In this tough situation around the world, I believe you have brought courage and hope for all of us. It is a great pleasure not only for me but also for Japan that 2 Japanese astronauts, Aki and Soichi, have boarded the operational spacecraft of the Crew Dragon twice in a row. This represents the many years of close cooperation between close cooperation on the International Space Station. I'm so happy to see both of you with big smiles today. And I understand that Aki advocates teamwork for this long-term mission, which comes from your experience in rugby football. The ISS is a symbol of international cooperation around the world, and we are looking forward to seeing you work as a team, build a scrum with all of the crew members from NASA, ESA, and Russia on board, and keep scoring tries to maximize outcome during your mission. Soichi, we wish you a safe return to the Earth, and Aki, good luck and enjoy your stay in space. 野口さん、地球で待ってます。星出さん、これから半年間頑張ってください。Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be part of this team. We have a 11-person scrum right here, and with 4 countries representing. It's really an honor and privilege to fly on Crew 2 Dragon and get here. Thank you to all the people that worked very, very hard to prepare us and the vehicle. We got here safely, and now it's time to work here on board the International Space Station. And we look forward to working with everyone around the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Yamakawa. We now welcome ESA Director General Joseph Ashbacher. Dr. Ashbacher, please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is Joseph Ashbacher. How do you hear me?
Hey, Joseph, we hear you loud and clear. Welcome to the space station.
Thank you, Thomas. This is really great to see you, that you and your crewmates have arrived safely on the space station. Greetings to all of you, 11 of you at the station, from all of us at ESA. It is really a fantastic effort to see you all so nicely grouped together in the group photo. I think the station needs expansion, seeing that you're all crowding together so nicely. On ESA, Thomas, we are all very, very proud of you and what you're doing for space, for Europe, for the space agency, also for France. You're extremely popular, as you know. We're all very proud of you, but of course we're also very proud of all the other colleagues which are next to you, because astronauts are so fascinating and they give so much inspiration to all of us. So this was the first launch of an ESA astronaut on a Crew Dragon. It was spectacular, and together with Philippe Baptiste, the newly elected CNES president, we have followed very closely from the suits up all the way to the orbital journey to the station, and now just recently, just a few minutes ago, the hatch opening, and this was really so exciting and really fantastic. It has been, I think, a long day for all of you, but you all look extremely in good shape and in good spirits. You're all smiling. This is really fantastic to see down here from Earth. But ESA is really very happy to see your assignment, Thomas, towards the end of the mission as the ISS commander. And I really would like to take this opportunity to thank the partners of the space station for this honor to give to Thomas, which certainly is a sign and a recognition of his quality and also his personal qualities, but of course engineering and technical qualities to be the commander of the station, and also recognition for ESA as being a strong partner and supporter of the space station all the way. So I know that you have a long and very intense training period behind you, and you're all set to go. There's a lot ahead of you. Hundreds of experiments are waiting, and all of you will be kept extremely busy, but we all look forward to see the results of these experiments. So Thomas, really very best wishes from all of us. Good luck and bonne chance.
Hey, thanks, Joseph. It's really unbelievable to be here on Space Station. Space Station has changed quite a bit since last time I was here. I've never seen so many astronauts on board. I've never seen so many different spacecrafts on board, and I think it's a tribute to how strong the program is going. I want to echo what Megan has said. It took a lot of effort from all kinds of people, from the highest manager to all kinds of support persons to bring us here. So we want to thank all of them. And I want to say a few words about international cooperation. You said a lot, but it's been 20 years since it's been 20 years. Actually, Shane's line, I learned it from Shane. It's 20 years since JAXA and ESA and NASA and Russian astronaut have been together in space. So it's actually pretty historic what's happening today. We can't wait to start our work on the space station. We can't wait to see what's ahead on the adventure for us. In those 5 months, we're so happy to see our friends. We're going to have to say goodbye to them soon. We wish we could keep them a little bit longer, but not too long as well, because 11 people is a lot on space station. But yeah, it's good to be here. Really, we're impatient, and it's going to be unbelievable. I want to say a few words in French. Je voudrais surtout remercier tous les gens qui ont travaillé sur cette mission en français, et puis un petit mot pour les familles et les amis qui sont déplacés jusqu'à Cap Canaveral. Ça n'a pas été un voyage facile. En tout cas, ça m'a vraiment fait chaud au cœur de les avoir avec moi. Donc je voulais les saluer un peu particulièrement. Voilà. Merci à tous. All right, go ahead and
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Acting Administrator Jurczyk, Associate Administrator Leaders, Dr. Yamakawa, and Dr. Ashbacher for your participation in the Crew 2 welcome ceremony. station. We are now resuming operational audio communications.
Wow, what an incredible morning, Gary. It is so cool to see the crew on board with the rest of the astronauts on the International Space Station.
That's right. They were welcomed by leaders from each of the space agencies that represent the cadre that is the Crew 2 astronauts aboard Crew Dragon Endeavour. We first heard from Steve Jerzik, who's the acting administrator of NASA, based at NASA headquarters. We also then heard from Kathy Leaders, who's the associate administrator for Human Exploration and Operations Mission Directorate at NASA headquarters. Then we got to hear from the president of the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, Hiroshi Yamakawa, and Joseph Aschbacher wrapping up the comments as the Director General from the European Space Agency, each of them chiming in and talking about just what it took to get to this moment with 4 astronauts on board, 4 additional astronauts on board, I should say. An 11-person crew now makes up Expedition 65.
Yeah, it's been an incredible 24-plus hours for this Crew 2 mission. This was NASA's SpaceX Crew 2 mission, and we have been with you all from the beginning, starting up with suit-up of the astronauts in the suit-up room at the ONC building, following the crew on the NASA Causeway in their Teslas as they made their way to the launch pad, go up the fixed service structure and ingressed on Crew Dragon Endeavour. We had an on-time liftoff yesterday morning at 5:49 a.m. Eastern Time, with the first stage separating and coming back to Earth for its second flight and second landing on, of course, I Still Love You, while Dragon, separated from second stage, had a good nose cone deploy. We had 5 major burns on Dragon as it made its way to the International Space Station, and finally docking to the space station, where we just a few moments ago watched the crew ingress onto the International Space Station. So an incredible past day watching this mission. On behalf of SpaceX and NASA, thank you for watching today's webcast and for your interest in this exciting second rotational crew mission. Now that Dragon Endeavour has reached the International Space Station, it will spend approximately 6 months docked there until it's time for Crew 2 to return home via a splashdown in the Atlantic Ocean.
And now that Crew 2 has arrived, we're less than a week away from the return of Crew 1. We'll be taking you along as Mike Hopkins, Victor Glover, Shannon Walker, and Soichi Noguchi return home after their long-duration stay aboard the station. They're currently targeted to return on Wednesday, April 28th, so be sure to tune in as NASA and SpaceX bring you live coverage of every step of their journey. Be sure to follow NASA and SpaceX on social media for real-time updates. And thanks again for watching our coverage. Go NASA, go SpaceX, and go Crew 2. We'll see you again real soon.